You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right?
80% water?
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Ooh, pass me the intercom thingy.
Attention shoppers. If you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Save on Tide at Target with a Target gift card. Restrictions apply. Terms and conditions apply to gift cards. For details, go to help.target.com/help.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, Backtracks Edition.
Let's start the stupid news with some unwritten rules. I think we can have some laughs with this. Somebody went ahead and made a list of unwritten rules that everyone should follow.
BuzzFeed, I believe.
BuzzFeed. Let's see how many we go along with here. There are 10 unwritten rules. There's more than that. We could do this for quite a while. Not everyone uses the same kind of logic, right? So we'll see if we agree on these. Unwritten rule number 1, don't leave your shopping cart in the middle of the aisle. Move it to the side.
Mm-hmm.
At least the first 10 that I'm going to give you, these are the 10 that BuzzFeed, I think, selected as the best, okay? Don't leave your shopping cart in the middle of the aisle. Move it to the side. I don't really give a rat's ass if there's a shopping cart in the middle of the aisle. I'll go around it. What bothers me, if we want to talk shopping carts, is the dildos that won't bring it back to the corral in the parking lot.
That's worse.
Ugh, the worst people.
Whenever I go to Menards or any of them big joints with a big parking lot, there's always the one dude who, loads the sod into the back of his truck and then just pushes the cart off. Someone else's problem. I'm out of here.
It's just crazy to me. Like, I can't even fathom doing that.
Because they're only thinking of themselves. If someone hands you their phone to show you a picture, don't look at other photos. Don't swipe.
Yeah.
Oh, parents are notorious for that.
Don't swipe unless you want trouble. I had to hand my phone to my niece recently. She wanted to look at a picture of something or another I had on my phone. And I said, okay. And before I handed it to her, I said, do not swipe left or right. Don't do it. Luckily,
I gotta imagine that's what makes her want to swipe left or right.
Thankfully, she's not the type that starts trouble. She listens. So.
I would never think to do it, but if somebody said that, then that's all I could think about.
Yeah. Don't start drama at a funeral or a wedding, and don't propose at a wedding.
Or a funeral.
Yep. or a funeral.
Proposing at a funeral.
Now that everybody's gathered around.
You guys ever been in a situation where someone proposed at a wedding and kind of took over the attention, which the bride and especially the bride and the groom, they don't like that?
None that I know of.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, not that I know of
Not
either.
proposals, but I've been at weddings where the bride didn't seem to care for the dress or an outfit that one of the guests wore because she all of a sudden was getting a lot of attention from everybody. One of those types of situations.
Yeah, there's rules there, too.
Yeah, where she kind of broke. She wore a white dress. It was like a white cocktail dress, and it was her aunt. Recently divorced aunt, and every guy was looking at the recently divorced aunt who was there to get some attention.
Did you hear that, Wapple? Recently divorced aunt.
Yeah, you don't want to take the attention away from the bride. Some of them will come uncorked and take a cut at you. You agree with that unwritten rule, Ashley? Don't outshine the bride?
Yeah, absolutely. But my biggest problem is that she's wearing white. They don't wear a white to a wedding.
You don't?
Especially a white dress. No.
Okay.
Like white dress shirts, that's normal, but not a white dress.
Oh, I didn't know that. So the bride is supposed to be the only one wearing white?
I think so, yes.
Okay. But you aren't planning on wearing white. Or didn't you say you wanted to dress up like some kind of a skeleton woman or something like that?
No, I wanted a black wedding dress for a while, but then my mom said she was paying for the dress, and I couldn't get black.
If she's paying for it, you're going to wear what Mama wants you to wear.
Yep.
Okay. More unwritten rules. Don't heat up fish in the office kitchen.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I was just watching a sitcom the other day, and they made a big thing out of how terrible a person was because they microwaved fish. That was like the example. Now, give us an example. What makes them terrible? And they mentioned that one.
Yeah, this covers everything. This goes all over the place, this list of unwritten rules. Don't heat up fish in the office kitchen or anything else that smells. Don't ask for something if the person only has one left. Like piece of gum, slice of pizza, Steve Weiser. Don't ask for that if there's only one left. Okay.
Oh, I was hanging out with a couple of my friends the other day, and one of my friends had one Reese's Pieces peanut butter cup left, and she just took it and ate it. And I don't think I've ever seen someone look at someone else with that much hatred in my life.
You just don't mess with somebody's food.
Oh, I totally agree. Totally agree.
I had a couple of buddies on our 11-time league champion beer league softball team, just for the record. I had a couple of buddies on our softball team who made a habit of messing with my food because they knew it would launch me into a rage. It just sucked. You know, I was very happy when that bit came to a close. One of the times, you know, I had this wonderful sandwich in front of me. You know, we're drinking beer, having lunch somewheres, and I went to take a piss, and they had taken half of my sandwich and put it in my giant mug of beer.
Oh, come on.
There goes half of my sandwich. And they'd laugh their asses off. I would come uncorked. They laugh their asses off and say, "It's not a big deal, I'll buy you another one." Well, yeah, it is a big deal because I want to eat now. I got to wait 20 minutes for the sandwich you're going to buy me. They always thought that was going to make good, that they'd buy me another one. You don't mess with somebody's food. If you borrow someone's car, fill it with gas or at least get it back to where it was.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Don't end an apology with an excuse or say things like, "I'm sorry you got upset."
That's one of my favorite apologies.
Yep, me too.
Put it on them.
We used to associate with a person years ago, Josh and I, who, if ever we had a problem, they could never, ever for the life of them admit that they did anything wrong, which was born out of pure arrogance. And their apology always was, "Well, I'm sorry you feel that way." And we just wanted to strangle this son of a bitch. He could not apologize. No matter how egregious his act, couldn't do it. He was just too cool for that. It's okay to be wrong. Oh, well, this kind of plays along with what I just mentioned. It's okay to be wrong, so if you mess up, just admit it and say you're sorry. We're rolling through some unwritten rules.
That's tough for people to do.
Absolutely.
Especially if you have, if you were very firm on something and then realize in the middle of your argument that, oh, man, I'm way off. It's hard to stop. Like that Kenny Powers bit we play sometimes, where he's yelling, he's mad, realizes he's wrong, but can't stop yelling because then he'd have to admit that he was wrong.
Is it just arrogance, Josh? That's what I chalk it up to, that because there are people who just cannot say they're sorry and cannot admit they're wrong no matter what.
Yeah, it's something.
Stubbornness?
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily arrogance. I'm sure that's a part of it.
Josh, if you cancel on a friend, it's your responsibility to reschedule. Do you follow that? Because you cancel on a lot of people.
No, I don't. I actually don't. I don't make plans. I don't cancel. I pray that they cancel.
That's the best feeling.
But I don't cancel.
Oh, I thought you did cancel.
No, I'm not. I don't. I won't agree to stuff that I know I'm going to cancel on, which is pretty much everything I'd want to cancel on. So, yeah, I don't want to get that reputation, so I don't cancel.
Now, as I mentioned, this list of unwritten rules covers just about everything. One of them being owning a plunger should be mandatory.
People don't own plungers?
Hey, Wapple, I don't know. I'm just, don't shoot the messenger.
Oh, that could be dangerous.
Yeah, I don't really know where this comes from because I guess I don't check anyone else's bathroom to see if they have a plunger or not.
That also sucks. If you clog their toilet and then you have to look around the bathroom for the plunger.
Terrible feeling.
Yeah, that's tough. It's a Dumb and Dumber feeling.
They say another unwritten rule here is people who don't flush the toilet in public bathrooms should go to prison.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Some people like to mangle the public toilet, then the next guy has to deal with it. Here are a few more unwritten rules. If you're borrowing it for the third time, you need one of your own.
That's a good rule.
Never thought about that one.
Yeah, it's true, though.
Oh, I bet people who work somewhere where they need tools for the job would be big into this one. I'm tired of loaning out their tools.
Yeah. An example that I can draw from my life is I borrowed a friend's riding lawnmower enough times to where I started to feel very guilty about it and then just went and bought my own. I can't. I said to myself, I can't keep asking this guy to do this for me. Had to go ahead and get my own. When driving a car, don't be nice. Be predictable. Nice leads to accidents. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I don't know if I fully understand that.
I don't know if I do either. I was kind of throwing it out there just in case anyone could make sense of it.
Maybe if you're at a stop sign and you keep letting someone go, and then someone else is waiting, they just get, they're not patient, so they just gun it and then run into someone maybe.
Interesting.
I don't know.
If someone asks you a question, finish what you are saying with, how about you? How about you?
Oh, I'm not very good at that. I forget.
You like to keep the conversation about you?
No, it slips my mind if someone's like, "Oh, how are you?" And I'm like, "I'm good." And then 5 minutes will pass, and I'm like, darn it, how are you?
You in that situation, you forget?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh, so they say, how are you when you don't ask the same question in return?
She just says,
Yeah.
good.
Because usually I'm busy and I'm on a mission, and so I can't really. I don't know. I have a one-track mind.
Well, that's
rude. Do you ever say good thanks? Do you at least say thanks?
Yeah. I'll say thank you.
I like this one. Don't take your bad day out on someone else.
Oh, man.
That's been a big one around here.
Big one around here. I'm fascinated by people who think it's, I guess I'll just go with the word logical. They think it's logical. They think it makes sense that you take out your bad mood on other people. Let me explain this further, because I feel like I'm missing the point here. I know people who they'll be short with you out of nowhere. Hey, how's it going? Good. What do you want to eat? I don't care. And then you'll say, what's the problem? Hey, look, I'm in a bad mood, okay? You see what I mean by that? And they feel like that's an excuse for their behavior. I had a bad day at work, all right? Okay, that has nothing to do with me. You follow what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And especially when it's somebody who totally doesn't deserve it. Like if somebody's had a bad day and then they're rude to the person at Chipotle or their server. Or something like that.
Yep.
It's not their fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are some of the worst people.
They really are.
They think it's sensible or reasonable to, okay, I'm pissy, I'm in a bad mood, I'll launch it out at other people because, hey, I'm in a bad mood.
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't work like that way. And like I said, they'll give that answer. Hey, I'm in a bad mood. Well, F you. I'm not. I'm having a good time. Don't ruin it. Personal space. Give people personal space. Boy, some folks struggle with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Can everyone picture their favorite close talker from their lifetime?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And unfortunately, not only is he a close talker, he's also a drunk spitter, where he spits when he talks.
Oh, no.
Close talkers. Man, that's tough.
It's one of the benefits of COVID is we've kind of gotten away from the close talker.
Well, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
6 feet away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But still sometimes it's too close.
There is a dude that I used to drink with, and my damn, it was awful. And, I mean, damn near nose to nose. He would get damn near nose to nose with you.
Ugh.
And the most uncomfortable part of it is he would barely even notice. I mean, I would physically push him away, and he wouldn't even notice. He's so focused on, telling you whatever story he's telling you. Some close talkers get offended when you say, "Hey, can you back it up a little bit?" They get offended. They just don't read people well. It's a weird thing. How about the guy? I recently got a text on something like this. The kind of guy or girl where you'll backpedal and they will proceed towards you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah. Or have you had it where you start to take a step back and they grab your arm?
See, I had a grandmother who, she was a close talker. In order to make sure you didn't back off, she'd hang on to you.
Mm-hmm.
hang onto your arm.
Yep, right above the elbow. Don't go anywhere.
One more unwritten rule. I've got more than one more. Be kind to strangers. You don't know what others have been through in life.
Couldn't agree more.
Yep, 100%.
I know Josh has some people in his life who don't let that unwritten rule cross their mind enough. You don't know what other people have gone through. You don't know what other people are dealing with. Be wary of that. And this is a strange one. Don't look through the effing gap of the bathroom stalls.
Yes.
That's a good one, though. I've had to tell my son that. Hey, make sure you're not looking at it. And also straight ahead at the urinal, straight ahead.
Why do we even have those gaps?
I don't know. That's the only way the door's going to open, I would imagine.
I guess.
I suppose they could engineer it in a different way, but I've seen some where there's no gap.
Some are quite large, and it's just okay. Why is there even a door on this stall if the gap's going to be?
That is the worst when you're walking by and inadvertently making eye contact with the gentleman sitting on the toilet there.
Oh, okay, yep.
Hate that feeling.
Especially if it's somebody you know, like it's somebody at work, and you're like, oh, yeah, just there he was. Just trow down, let her rip.
Yeah, you're right, Josh. In some situations, you're just looking to see if someone's in there, and then it appears as if you're peeping or peeking.
Yeah, like you tried.
No, you're not.
This text says, had a boss who was such a close talker, he would straddle your leg when he talked to you, and he was a loud talking spitter.
Oh. See, my close talker was a whisperer. Dude, I got totally hammered last night and went home with a girl. I don't even know what her name was, dude. And it'd be nose to nose. Dude, I mean, yeah, I'm tasting what he had for dinner, the breath. That is terrible. And you'd push him aside, and he would just proceed forward. Didn't bother him.
Hey, you've seen me cornered by this former coworker of ours.
Yeah.
Awesome guy. I mean, I love him to death. But when he got drunk especially, and very tall too, so he'd stand over you, like get in your face, corner you in the wall, and be spitting all over you.
Terrible spitting. I mean, beyond what the average spit talker can provide.
And then I'm sitting there going, well, I don't know what to do. Do I continue to windshield wiper my face? Or do I just sit here and take it like a man so I don't offend the guy or upset him in some way?
If you haven't switched to MediShare yet, two big reasons to at least consider it and why it makes so much sense right now. Number one is inflation, which is just affecting everything. It just makes sense to say, okay, where can I actually save? Well, you can save a lot in one fell swoop if you switch to MediShare. The typical family saves $500 a month. Secondly, your conscience. MediShare members aren't forced to pay for things they don't support or believe in, and that's a big deal for a lot of people right now. They want their money to actually help people. And one more reason, you can trust MediShare. It's been the gold standard for healthcare sharing for more than 30 years. It works, and members love it too. It has double the member satisfaction rating compared to health insurance. So now's a great time to consider making the switch, and they are very easy to talk to. MediShare has great customer service. You can call now and get a price within 2 minutes. Here's the number. It's 844-43-BIBLE. That's 844-43-BIBLE. 844-43-BIBLE.
It could be information to change your life forever. Or the Something You Should Know podcast could just be something interesting.
Well, one person who understands dogs better than most is Jen Golbeck, and she is author of a book called The Purest Bond, Understanding the Human Canine Connection.
People who went on weight loss plans with their dog lost more weight, and it's just a really interesting connection about how our own weight and our dog's weight is tied together.
Something You Should Know, wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, Backtracks Edition.
We had a funny joke in our sports report. It was a sarcastic tweet about the upcoming Super Bowl. Let me read it to you one more time. It says, my nephew has 2 tickets for the 2023 Super Bowl in Arizona, both box seats at the 40-yard line. He paid $3,500 each ticket, but he didn't realize when he bought them 8 months ago it was going to be on the same day as his wedding. If you're interested, he's looking for someone to take his place. It's at Our Lady of Grace at 3 p.m. Her name is Nicole. She's 5'2", 118 pounds. She's a good cook, too. She'll be the one in the white dress. Very funny.
That's hilarious.
I like that.
It got us thinking about Cubby and I. Weddings. Who here has been a best man and or maid of honor?
I've been a best man.
Okay, how many times?
Once.
Cubby?
Yeah, I've been each. I've been both of those.
You've been each, the maid of honor and the best man.
Once, both times.
Wapo, you been a best man yet?
Not a best man.
I've been a best man once or twice, yeah. What'd you think of the process, gentlemen? What'd you think of the whole thing?
Go ahead, sorry.
I would say it's not as stressful as officiating a wedding, which I think is more stressful than actually getting married.
What does it mean to officiate a wedding?
You're the priest. You're the guy up there that's leading the ceremony.
Oh, wait a minute. You did that?
Yeah, I've done that 3 times, yeah.
3 times?
Mm-hmm. That's more stressful because if you screw up your own wedding, it's like, okay, you screwed up. But when you're in charge of somebody else's like big day, that big moment for them, and you got to be up there in front of everybody, it's a little stressful.
I forgot this. You're ordained in one way or another?
Yeah, I mean, you just to get ordained, it's a 5-minute process. You go on the internet and fill out your name and your address, and you're ordained. So
did you do that simply to officiate weddings?
No, I was asked to do it, and then I got ordained, and then I was.
Oh, so then it's probably like a rock rolling downhill.
Right. Some other friends were like, hey, yeah, you'd be good at it. We'd like you to be up there for us. So I've done it 3 times now.
Are all the people still together?
They are, yes.
To this day?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yes.
So you're not a jinx?
No, thankfully not. No, just in my own marriage.
Ashley, you haven't been a maid of honor yet, Ashley?
Nope.
But a bridesmaid, I imagine?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Really? I'm surprised.
Yeah, always a bride, never a bridesmaid.
Yeah, that's how it's worked out for you. I mean, you know how it is. I mean, when you're young, weddings are a riot. Mm-hmm. You have a blast. You just drink your effing face off and you hook up with a stranger and you just have the time. The bit tires. Being a best man or what is it? What's the dude's version? Groomsman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a little bit of a pain in the ass. You know, you got to be on time for this and make sure you look good, and you got to go get the suit.
It can be expensive.
It can be expensive,
for sure.
So,
I mean, especially when you're a young guy. I remember the first time I had to rent a tux. I'm thinking, how am I going to pay for this thing?
Uh-huh.
There's ups and downs, right? So this has been an internet debate lately. Is it rude to decline a best man invitation because the groom wants to have a destination wedding way the F away from home and a lot of money's got to go out of your pocket? Is it rude to decline that?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
That's the risk they're taking by wanting a destination wedding.
You might butt hurt some people, but they'll get over it, for Christ's sake, if they're, reasonable adults. And I know we're short on that these days. But no, it's not.
I mean, not everybody can afford that.
Right.
You're, like Ashley said, maybe some people that I've known that have done that have been cool and totally understood. I mean, they paid for like the in-laws and everybody to go, with parents and stuff. But, because they were a little older when they got married.
Right.
But at the same time, if you didn't show, they said, we totally understand. They were going to have a reception back home. So they were going to do a little of both. Just so, nobody's going to have to spend a ton of money to go to Hawaii for a week.
To ask someone to go out of their way and, have to miss work and spend money and travel to California, Greece, Mexico, Guam, wherever, Biafra, I think that's kind of rude to ask that of somebody. Maybe rude isn't the word.
I think you just got to be understanding that some people aren't going to be able to make it. So, I had a buddy who got married in California, and a couple of months before the wedding, he also had a bachelor party planned, which was a destination bachelor party.
Oh, God.
And I just told him, I was like, listen, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, I can do one or the other. You tell me where you want me to be. Do you want me to be at the bachelor party, or do you want me to be at the wedding?
That's actually kind of frustrating.
Because I cannot afford both right now.
Although, maybe there's some genius. You mentioned Biafra. I bet I could really limit the guest list if I decided I'm going to Biafra.
Yes, you could.
Sorry, Aunt Janet, you're not. Wait a minute. I do have an Aunt Janet. Okay, I wasn't picking her. Sorry, Aunt Ashley, I'm not going to be able to get you out there. That's too bad.
See, I don't think I've ever known anybody who's had a destination wedding and asked anyone to come with. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He just went with his bride, and maybe, I think it was his parents, his immediate family, meaning his parents and brother and sister, and her immediate family. I can't imagine asking dozens of people to go to Florida or whatever the hell. I can't imagine asking that question.
It's stressful to be asked and you want to go, but and then if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. Or you can't afford the time away from whatever your life entails.
And the destination bachelor party. Hey, I'm having a bachelor party. Sweet. Yeah, it's in Vegas. Not sweet. That's Just too damn much.
I even felt bad. Just my groomsmen were all guys I grew up with, went to high school with, but they since relocated. I felt bad just making them fly back to Minneapolis for a weekend. Asking them to do that. I felt like that was even over the top.
It was.
Pretty rude,
It
man.
was.
Pretty rude.
Yeah, I'll never forget, one of my buddies 20-some years ago announces he's going to Florida to get married. And I thought it was pretty obvious the way he said that. Well, I'm going to go to Florida, going to get married. I thought it was pretty obvious to everyone at the table that he made this announcement to that meant he and his bride are just going to go, just the two of them. Mm-hmm. One dude at the table goes, well, I guess I got to get a bathing suit. I'm like, no, dummy, we're not going. What's the matter with you?
Get a bathing suit.
Yeah. Who the hell do you think you are?
He doesn't have one.
This person says, I'm getting married in Belize in January just so a lot of people don't show up. F everyone.
Yeah, that's
so there
the
is
way to
some
do
genius
it.
there.
God, here's a guy who got asked to go to India for a wedding.
Oh, man.
Jesus Christ. I even get upset if they say St. Paul. You know what I mean? What? St. Paul? It's like 30 minutes from my house. So the argument on, what did I say? Reddit. Not much of an argument here. Is it rude to decline a best man invite for a destination wedding? In this case, the best man and the groomsmen and everybody were asked to go to Italy, and none of the costs were covered. God dang.
That's tough.
Had to pay for his flight. Then you got to take a train ride. Then you need a hotel.
You got to get a passport.
You got to eat. What does that cost you any money?
Yeah.
And then you have to get the suit.
Right. Meals.
And the carbs. Being in Italy that long?
Oh, yeah. You're not going to fit in that suit by the time wedding day
There's
comes.
a cost to that, too.
My God, the carbs. He said he figured it would cost him around $2,000. He decided that with a wife and 2 kids at home, he just couldn't justify it. And the majority of people commenting agreed he was fine having to bail on this effing thing.
2,000 seems on the low end.
I would have predicted more, too. But how is it the majority and not everybody?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Partly because there are other people who think it's rude because they're also the people that have a destination wedding and ask people to fly all the way out there and do it.
That could be. And I mean, and for Christ's sake, we all know this. There are certain people who, when they're getting married or having a baby, it is stop the world. Stop the world.
We had ours at a restaurant in St. Paul, and I would have been fine if people said they're not interested.
St. Paul, that's 30 minutes from my house. I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
And it was cold. It was really cold
Oh,
that
it was
day.
cold.
Cold to leave.
I wouldn't have been bothered at all.
Football games going on.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I tell you, the best part about being the best man is the second you nail that speech and your obligations are done and you can just go join the party and just because the times I've been the best man or something, I obviously don't drink because I don't want to be that guy that F's up the speech and makes it really uncomfortable for everybody. So when you nail the speech and you feel good about yourself and you can go have a beer or something, that's my favorite part.
Well, yeah, but when you drink, you become silent.
I do sometimes.
A couple times that we've been around you when you're drinking, like you go silent.
I wish that would rub off on a few of my drinking buddies. We're just having a conversation about destination weddings, destination bachelor or bachelorette parties. There was a Reddit conversation where people were, one particular individual was asking people, is it rude that I declined to be a best man in my buddy's wedding because it's a destination wedding? He wanted us to fly all the way to stinking Italy. It will cost me about $2,000 for everything. And no, I don't. Anyone with common sense wouldn't define that as rude. For Christ's sake, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. It's a long ways to go and a lot of money. Had a few texts come in on this. And here's a listener who says, my nephew had a destination wedding in Mexico. The airfare and hotel expenses was over $5,000.
Oh, my goodness.
We declined.
Yeah. That's insane.
God dang. And then there's all kinds of other adventures you can run into if you're invited to or asked to be a part of a wedding party. Here's a listener who says, my high school buddy was butthurt that a few of us declined to dress as Simpsons characters during his wedding reception.
That's kind of fun.
I don't think I'd want to do that either.
Yeah.
You know, here's the thing.
I probably would, but I don't know.
Come on with that. If you are a massive dork for a TV show or a movie or a band or whatever, okay, great. Express that if you feel the need to at your effing wedding. But don't ask all your friends and family to get involved, too, if they don't give a rat's ass.
At my reception, I changed into a Pac-Man suit that I got online, but I sure as hell didn't ask my buddies to do it, too.
Wait a minute. You put on some kind of a suit that was kind of quirky?
Yeah.
There's no effing way.
Know, right? Yeah.
There's no way that happened.
You brought that up to Turtle Lake, didn't you?
I wore that one night when we were out in the sports book drinking. I wore the sport coat of it.
That was fun for me because people came up to me and were like, "Why the heck is he wearing that?" I'm like, "Because it's cool."
What was that again? Pac-Man?
Yeah, it was a Pac-Man suit.
But you didn't ask your buddy to be a bouquet of cherries or whatever the hell.
I want you guys to be the ghosts, and I want to chase you around all night.
Come on. You're telling us you didn't at least ask somebody to be part of it? Come on, we know you better than that.
No, I honestly did. I wouldn't put my buddies through that.
You didn't ask your wife to be Miss Pac-Man at any point?
No, I did not. It was funny, though, when we were going up, when the day before we were doing a walkthrough of the venue, and the lady who was running the venue said, like, okay, and, so the bar will be here, and, all that kind of stuff. And she goes, I understand that there's going to be an outfit change. And she looked directly at my wife. And she goes, don't look at me, it's him.
Right. A listener says, themed weddings, you wouldn't define yours as a themed wedding.
No.
You just put on a wacky outfit.
Yeah.
Themed weddings are the ultimate in self-centered crap, says a listener. I'd rather fly to Mars for a destination wedding than to have to walk down the aisle carrying a lightsaber. I couldn't do that either. I couldn't do it. Especially not at maybe when I was 23, 4, 5. Okay, Donnie, I'll be a Chewbacca or whatever if it makes you stinking happy. But there's no way you're going to put me through that as a grown person.
Man, I've never come across that, thankfully.
I've never been to a themed wedding.
Neither have I. I've heard of them.
Oh, I'd love that.
You have, Ashley,
no,
or you just
no,
would?
I haven't, but I would love to be a part of one.
Okay, so, but I'm trying to think now. Ashley, what like band or TV show or movie have you said that you hated? I can't remember. And you're a fairly negative person, and suddenly I can't remember.
Well, anything with clowns.
Clowns for sure.
Oh, that's perfect. You hate clowns. You run from clowns. You're going to dress up as one because your best girlfriend's getting married?
No, I can't do that.
There you go.
No.
So that's the thing. Like,
I'd be
you get
terrified.
Somebody who hates Star Wars, and they're being asked to be Ben Kenobi while I'm trying to drink tap beer, or whatever, keg beer, in a barn in Otsego or something. No, I'm not going to be Ben Kenobi.
Oh, here comes Ashley walking down the aisle.
Hate the music.
Here's the last thought I got from listeners talking about weddings. One listener texted me, and all he said was, bridesmaids slap.
They do. They really do.
Oh, bridesmaids can slap, dude.
If you haven't switched to MetaShare yet, two big reasons to at least consider it and why it makes so much sense right now. Number one is inflation, which is just affecting everything. It just makes sense to say, okay, where can I actually save? Well, you can save a lot in one fell swoop if you switch to MetaShare. The typical family saves $500 a month. Secondly, your conscience. MetaShare members aren't forced to pay for things they don't support or believe in, and that's a big deal for a lot of people right now. They want their money to actually help people. And one more reason, you can trust MetaShare. It's been the gold standard for healthcare sharing for more than 30 years. It works, and members love it, too. It has double the member satisfaction rating compared to health insurance. So now's a great time to consider making the switch, and they are very easy to talk to. MetaShare has great customer service. You can call now and get a price within 2 minutes. Here's the number. It's 844-43-BIBLE. That's 844-43-BIBLE. 844-43-BIBLE.
We're all juggling life, a career, and trying to build a little bit of wealth. The Brown Ambition podcast with host Mandy and Tiffany the Budgetnista can help.
When it comes to financial stuff, gather friends, confidants as you go along who are on the same path as you, because family is amazing, but family doesn't always understand the journey that we're on because they have their separate journeys. So I just feel like the more voices you have, whether it's ours from listening to the podcast, we can be like your big sister friends.
Brown Ambition.
Wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, Backtracks Edition.
Waikiki effing Hawaii. Hell, Josh, didn't you spend some time in Waikiki when you were a young buck?
I did. I think we're actually in New Zealand.
What?
It's Waikiki. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it.
I thought that was Waikiki.
No.
Oh, well, F me running. So we're not in Hawaii. We're in New Zealand.
We're New Zealand. I've never been to New Zealand, but I have been to Hawaii.
So when you read this story, not even for a second, you didn't think Waikiki, Hawaii?
No.
I'm a stupid idiot.
You are not a stupid idiot. I could see. Well, maybe you didn't have your glasses on.
I did. I was wearing my glasses. Sorry, I effed that up. Okay, fine. We're starting in New Zealand, in a town called, how should I say it?
I don't know. Waikiki? I couldn't tell you.
All right. Wacky. We're going to call it Wacky, New Zealand.
Nice.
Maybe we've got a New Zealander out there that could help us.
There's a big effing mystery in Wacky, New Zealand. Residents are pithed because for almost a year now, some prick won't stop putting sausages in their mailboxes. You go to your mailbox, you open her up, and inside, sausages.
I wouldn't be all that mad about that.
Well, if you knew they were safe to eat.
Oh, yeah.
And they hadn't been in someone's butt. Yeah, then I'd be excited about a daily sausage delivery.
Yeah,
and take that however you want, by the way.
Nobody needs butt sausage.
If only we knew someone that could warm the sausages up.
Oh, wait a minute.
Are you talking about Gam Gam?
Yeah.
Great Gam Gam knows how to... I wouldn't want greasy ass day old sausages banging around my mailbox. Gross. Not that I don't like sausage, but it's in my mailbox and not on a plate at a cafe. This community is calling this anonymous character the Surfdale Sausager. And the story says that this idiot will also throw some bread, butter, and tomato sauce in your mailbox for you, too. Apparently, now that I know we're in New Zealand and not in Hawaii, apparently in New Zealand they refer to a sausage as a snag.
Snag, that's a word that's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you think of, spitting up some snot, snag.
Yeah.
At least that's what we used to call it. Is that still used?
Oh, I don't know.
I've never heard it like that.
Oh, when we were kids, yeah, if you hawked up a real keeper, that was a snag. You know what we used to like to do? What?
Loogie's a bad one, too.
Oh, I think snag's grosser than loogie.
Loogie's not gross.
Yeah.
Loogie's borderline cute.
Yeah, loogie's cute. He's right.
Yellow loogie, you.
You know what we like to do when we were sixth graders? We would hawk up some snag, Josh. Mm-hmm. And all 10, 11 of us all over the slide in our grade school playground. And then when the kindergartners would come out for recess, they'd go, "Yay, the slide!" And then they'd slide down and get our snot all over their backs and asses.
Dude.
We'd have a collective snag party at the top of the slide just so the kindergartners would go home with wet pants.
That's so messed
What a bunch of evil douchebags.
That is evil.
Yeah. Do you need any help with that?
Did you like that, Wapple? You would have been right there with me. Just
Probably would have.
Just put a used hypodermic needle there instead, not some snot. It's disgusting. By the way, a couple people have texted in on the pronunciation. And thank you for the original Toolmaker, Jesus, for reminding me it's not New Zealanders, it's Kiwis, which I forgot.
I'd heard that before.
And now, due to our system, they have disappeared. Oh, here we go. Medical Device Jesus says it's called Waiheke.
Well, I'm just going to go. Can I just go with wacky?
I think wacky's fun.
Stop it with the know-it-all douchey attitude, Medical Device Jesus. Oh, I know what it's called. Nobody cares, dude. We named it wacky.
I should read the rest of his text message if it didn't just disappear. I don't think you're going to
What is it, the box score from last night's Michigan State basketball game or something like that?
Maybe he'll get to that.
So someone's throwing sausages into everybody's mailbox. One of the sausager's first victims is a fella named Jacob. He says he's been targeted regularly since last April. At least once a month at the bare minimum, he says, he finds greasy-ass food in his stupid mailbox. It's driving him nuts. At first, he thought it was just a neighborhood drunk. Then it happened again, and it happened again. He thought his friends were pranking him, but he gives them a phone call, and they said, no, we're getting sausaged too over here. Then Jacob gets a little bit dramatic. He says it's tearing out our town apart.
These sausages, no.
We had somebody was dropping off, I guess, open dog treats, just a handful of dog treats in our mailbox for a while, and we were trying to figure it out. But it was our mailman just being a nice guy, because a few just like this, a few people in the neighborhood. So instead of sausages, we'd be getting snossages, basically. Those and like milk bones would just show up in our mailbox periodically. And so at first I thought somebody's trying to poison the dogs in the neighborhood, but nah, it's just Craig.
Nice.
Yeah, for
our
me.
mailman.
Classic Craig.
Finally, a warning to the sausager from our dude, Jacob. He says, I know you're out there. Just know one thing. You will be unmasked, and your horrible deeds will be known by the community, and you will be shunned. This Jacob guy should be an actor or something like that. Unmasked, Kiss record, 1980. Yeah, I know. The story closes out with this. Am I supposed to know who this is? It says, The Mad Butcher, Sir Peter Leach. Anybody?
Mm-mm.
Okay. He's a resident of Waukee. He has yet to be sausaged himself. He must only be famous in New Zealand. I thought I'd throw it your way just in case. You knew the guy.
I'm picturing the guy that does this, like dressed up like the Tooth Fairy, but the Sausage Fairy, and just kind of prancing down the street in the middle of the night.
Dressed up like a big hot dog?
Yeah, it's sausaging people's mailboxes.
The Mad Butcher has a chain of butcheries.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at, too.
Okay. And he's apparently known for his charitable works and his butcheries.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, Backtracks Edition.
Specifically, we're going to start with what you eat for breakfast. What you eat for breakfast says something about your skills in the sack, apparently. According to a new study, people who eat peanut butter for breakfast are most likely to be, quote, passionate lovers. You eat it every morning, huh?
Every morning.
I know you always have a sandwich.
The way into work, peanut butter jelly.
Oh, you eat it on the way in?
Every single day.
And would you call yourself a passionate lover?
I would. Others don't and haven't. But someday.
Does peanut butter Captain Crunch count?
Well, there's peanut butter involved.
Yeah,
right?
Somewhere's in there. There's peanut butter.
At least in the marketing.
Because I like to eat that peanut butter Captain. Cereal comes into play here also. It says the survey also found that people who eat a bowl of cereal, and that's often the first thing that I eat, are most likely to be dependable. Would you call me dependable, Josh?
Yeah. I was just having this conversation the other day.
Who were you talking to?
Somebody was asking me if you're an alcoholic.
Oh!
And I said, no, I don't think so at all. And I explained why I didn't think so, and that's one of the reasons I brought up.
Who the hell was asking if I'm an alcoholic? Did my mother call you again?
No. There's like, hey, is all that talk about him drinking real? I said, yes. Like, do you think he's an alcoholic? I said, no, I don't.
No.
There was a time, and when I first met you,
Ooh.
I wondered.
I got drunk a lot when we first started hanging out.
You did?
Yeah.
I don't even think you're like a functioning alcoholic. I don't think you're any sort of alcoholic.
I don't think I am either.
Now, trust me, I've watched doctor shows like Scrubs in my past, so I'm qualified to make this designation.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't put them down like I used to. Maybe I was an alcoholic. People who eat bananas for breakfast are most likely to be stressed.
Huh.
I don't know where they're coming up with this nonsense, but people who eat bananas are stressed individuals. At least a quarter of people skip breakfast every day, and those people are most likely to be introverts.
Weird.
Yeah, so you know all that now. My regular breakfast is Skol.
Scolios?
Yeah, Scolio. I think their slogan is, it does a body good, I think, if I heard correct. Skol and Gatorade, that's all I consume until I get home. Okay, now, what about, we'll stay on the topic of food. Food preferences. Does food factor in when it comes to whether you like somebody romantically?
No.
I wouldn't say romantically.
Oh, what do you know?
What do you mean? So it does factor in to whether or not you like someone as a person, but you overlook it.
If I if I would date them, yeah. Like, my last one was tough to cook for her because she never wanted to eat red meat, and I love red meat.
Yeah, everybody does. If you're a good person.
So that was kind of tough.
If you don't eat red meat, you're not a good person. Wapple said.
I didn't.
My roommate never eats red meat.
Never?
Never.
Do you think you could date a vegetarian?
Yeah, I don't really care. I mean,
yeah, why not?
My wife's diet is ridiculous.
She doesn't have to cook for me.
It can get kind of annoying sometimes, but
she doesn't have to cook for me, and I don't have to eat her food. You go ahead, be a vegetarian. The smell might get to me a little bit with because you cook a lot of vegetables that they reek.
Oh, especially broccoli.
Broccoli reeks.
Smells like farts.
I do like broccoli a lot, and I also really
too.
like farts, though. Like a lot.
Here's the deal. What did I have in front of me here? According to a new survey, 1 out of 7 people say they'd end a relationship, even one that has real potential, if they were food incompatible. What do you think about that?
Well, if you're dating someone who has a very strict diet, and I'm not talking about like they have some health concerns, things like that. Obviously, that's different. But sure, it can be kind of a pain trying to figure out if you want to go somewhere, if you can go somewhere they can eat something.
Yeah.
Like my wife is just fine bringing her own food places, which, kind of weirds me out a little bit here. Weird me out is the wrong word, but it's kind of like, you know what, let's just stay home.
What do you mean? She brings her own food to a restaurant?
Sometimes, depending on what kind of training she's doing, yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, that I would say, no, we're just not going to go out. I'm not going to be the guy who's sitting with the woman who brought her own Tupperware dinner to the restaurant.
Right, and we were going to some friend's house a couple weeks ago, and she was saying, well, I'm just going to bring something for herself. I'm like, well, no, that's rude. You can't show up to somebody's house and bring your own food. But that kind of thing, it's not like a deal breaker by any means, obviously. It's just, it can be annoying.
I dig your old lady, and I dig her more than she and I want you to know about. But that would be annoying if we're going, hey, we're going to go to a party at Donnie's house. He's got pizza and popcorn, and she brings a bag of rice cakes and fat-free potato slices or something.
So, I get it's important to her, and so I'll support her in that way. But, yeah, when you go to the state fair, and, it's supposed to be, it's based around the food mostly.
Ooh, yes.
And she brings a packet of tuna.
Oh!
Which she just eats it straight from the bag with a plastic fork. You're kind of like, well, can we live it up just a little, just once?
I remember you telling me about that bag of tuna. And you were a little embarrassed by that tuna bag.
Yeah, because there's people at the fair.
People are looking. That's what we do at the fair. We eat and we people watch, and we judge the piss out of everybody.
Although now that I think about it, maybe people might come up and just go, oh, where do they have that?
You know what?
The bagged tuna with a plastic fork?
I'm surprised nobody did.
I didn't even think of that till right now. Maybe people thought that was a thing. Again, so I want to be very clear.
Yeah.
If someone has medical issues, that's completely different.
Of course.
If they have to bring their own stuff, whatever, that's a different. We're just talking about food preferences or, someone who's extra health conscious.
Yeah.
It can be kind of rough sometimes.
We know what you mean. So, people have broken up because they weren't food compatible. 30% of people, and I can sort of understand this. If you would have said this out loud to me 20 years ago, I would have started a riot in the streets. But nowadays, I kind of understand. The survey also found 30% of people say food is more important to them than sex.
Boy, the older I get,
the
more I'm on that side.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean,
you'll get there, Ashley.
Oh, yeah, she will. She knows that.
You're at the age, we were at the same age where we thought that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. I'll never be that way.
Yeah.
Someday we'll talk about it over a steak after you just turned down sex.
Right. There will come a time where you and Kevin, I don't think it's going to last much longer, but let's say you and Kevin somehow stay together. There's going to come a day where Kevin's going to say, hey, you want to duck back into the bedroom and have some sex? And you'll go, yuck!
I got a lasagna in the oven.
Yeah,
Why would I do that?
I got a perfectly good meal in front of me.
I'm making lasagna today.
No kidding.
I had it yesterday. That's why it was top of mind.
But yeah, as you get older, sex, good sex, and a good meal, hard to decide which one you want better than the other, more than the other.
It depends on, how long it's been for both.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to give the edge to food if, tie goes to the runner, that type of thing. But, I'm probably always going to give the edge to food. Never mind. I take it back.
Yeah, you love to eat. I know that about you. I'll tell you something about getting older and food. This is something I learned from my old man. My mom doesn't cook much. And my dad, boy, he wishes she did. Because there's nothing that old boy likes better than a big meal. And specifically, something, comfort foods, that kind of thing. He doesn't get it. My mom just doesn't cook for him. My dad often has a bologna sandwich for dinner with cigarettes and canned Budweiser. He lives with it, but he'd rather it was different. When my dad hears other people talk about what they had for dinner, he loses his mind. He can't believe how some people live. One of my friends was complaining one night. My friend was living with his in-laws at the time, and my friend was complaining that, yeah, man, it's kind of a pain in the ass when I get home from work. My mother-in-law has this huge fried chicken dinner on the table, and I don't feel like eating when I get home directly from work. I want to have a couple beers. I want to relax before I have dinner. And my dad said, time out! You walk in the door from work, and there's a fried chicken dinner on the table, and you're complaining?
I never complain. Never.
But this goes to show you, the older you get, food just means so much because a lot of your other simple pleasures dwindle away, sex being one of them. Now check this out, further in our food relationship type discussion here. This seems strange to me, at least one item on this list. The best foods to order on a date. All right? Chicken. Sure. Pizza. Easy. Steak. And someone, Cubby and Smashley, said something about lasagna. There's one more item on this list of the best foods to order on a date that I don't think belongs. Chicken salad?
Yeah, do they mean like you got tuna salad and then there's chicken salad? They mean that kind of chicken salad or a salad with diced up chicken in it? What?
I never considered the salad with diced up chicken in it. I was thinking of chicken salad that you put between slices of bread. I'm sorry, I didn't even consider the other one.
Well, it says chicken salad, and that's what I think too, just what you did. But I don't know. I don't know what they mean.
I don't know how the hell that fell into the top 5.
Yeah, and I also don't get this text. This person says, are you having leftover lasagna tonight? What is leftover lasagna?
Business has always been about turning a profit, making money. But can it stand for something more? Something beyond dollars and cents? We think so. We think that today, business has a higher calling, a purpose to be fair and just, to do right by their workers, customers, communities, and the environment. And it turns out companies successful doing that also do better for their bottom line. When you see the Just Capital seal, it means this company is a force for good. Visit justcapital.com to learn more.